Back, everybody. So this is Akiba'Strip, Undead and Undressed. Not really much to do in creating your avatar. See? Alright, so this is pretty much the Vita version. Pretty much self-explanatory if you've played the game before. As all the starts off that information and then actual story. So, anyways. For those that believe, you know, animes for kids or whatever, you're half right. There's actually an anime out there for everyone, like genre-wise. Action, love story. It has grown into like its own culture. If it were a country, everybody would be cosplaying every day. There's an anime, well, actually, in general, anime is pretty much a visual novelization of its manga counterpart. There are currently 3 types of fans out there. Your type 1s are your mainstream fans. In other words, they hop from one hot thing to the next. Like Bleach, Naruto, etc. Like they will only watch, like I said, what's hot, what's now. And they won't get any particular manga. They'll just watch only the hot things. Talk about that episode with all their other friends, saying, mainly especially those in school, that'll say, did you catch the episode of whatever? It's like, yeah, it was an awesome episode. You know, I love it how they threw in like a bunch of basically mainstream series follows the Pokemon battle formula, in which in other words, throw in as much or many special moves in an episode as inhumanly possible. If they don't, and it becomes like or they show an episode in which it was just all talking or training, mainstream fans will say, especially with the others, it's like, I didn't like that episode. There's too much talking. And basic. Mainstream fans will just only watch things that have like full of action, a lot of special moves, and they'll talk about like, who do you think is really stronger between this character and this character? Which, really, it's always going to be the main character. Or characters, depending on how many the creator put in. Okay, grant, occasionally, you know, doing, watching things in mainstream is okay, but eventually, if they keep talking about, who is stronger between this character and this character, it gets old after a while. Your Type 2 fans are your, I like to call the canon-only fans. In other words, they'll only watch shows that is well, it's basically follows the manga version of it, which like, really all it is just you're watching a visual novel of the manga series. Like they'll refuse to watch anything that has fillers in it, or they'll watch the series, skip the fillers, and then continue on watching just the whole series without it, or they'll wait until the more canon version yeah, like I said, it's like a visual novel, but the let's put it this way. If they're with the manga version, it has to be set, like basically, in paper. The creator of the series works with their editor. If the editor says, it'd be more interesting if it does this, or it's good, but if we add this or change this, it might make it better. So the editor has the real yeah, like I said, editor will have final say. And then what you see in, like the Shonen Jump website or various websites that have manga capabilities that let you read, is pretty much set. Kind of like set in stone, but anyways. The anime version of most series has a little more flexibility to In other words, like, it'll still be canon to the series, but at the same time, it'll add the fillers to make sure that it doesn't catch up to the manga version so quickly. The only time should a anime version be more canon to the series without the need for the fillers is what Full Metal Alchemist did, and then Dragon Ball Z Kai, and then the rebooted Sailor Moon, in which you'll still have your fillers, or in the case of Full Metal Alchemist, OVA, which is original video animation, and then as little as at least a year-ish, like how Full Metal Alchemist did. Where it starts off with an OVA, and then they did Brotherhood, where it's more canon to the actual manga series. I mean, which is fine and all. You know, it's, like I said, the whole flexibility when it comes to anime is you can add something to an already series that's canon to either help improve, or if the filler is written right, makes that much exciting to the canon counterpart. Okay, which it's like, yeah, like I'll watch something that's but like I said earlier, all you're watching is just a visual novelization. You know, there's no deterrent from And then lastly, now a lot of so-called canon Anyways, the what? Anyways, the type 3s are are what I like to call the true fans. In other words, they don't care if the series is canon or not. They'll still watch it, come up with their own assessment. And of course, you know, buying the manga version. Some figurines, statues, play arts kai, etc. Just yeah. And then, like I said, a lot of canon-only fans will say, you know, like I said, I consider myself a true fan. Because, like I said, it's like I'll watch, well, any anime series that I think is interesting. Sometimes, you know, well, not sometimes. There are even manga versions that I've read that I thought it was interesting, and I've enjoyed it. A couple of titles I'm currently reading are Fuka, like getting into the music business over in Japan. Bit heart-wrenching, but otherwise, it's really a good series to get into. With every fan of, well, pretty much the positive sides, there are like basically the whole dark side of the fandoms. Like, they'll still have the 3 categories, but the dark side of it is let's take a brief moment to look at some pre-recorded J-pop. So anyways, some of the more obsessed dark underside of fandom is there's hentai, in which, yeah, I'll just come right out and say it. Anime porn. That's pretty much it. There's really no explanation needed on it. If you don't know what hentai is, I suggest you Google it. Would not recommend you actually watch any of it if you're underage. Another underside fandom, mostly it's mostly certain girls that are like heavily into it. Is yaoi, yaoi, which translated means boy love. In other words, guy on guy action. There's hundreds of fan fictions of boy love, and like I said, again, not really recommend you try and hunt this down. If I twitch just even mentioning it, no, I have not read, nor do I have any desire to actually find it, any of it. I may have known about it, but nor do I have any desire to actually do any reading of it. It's, yeah, no, changing the subject. And then finally, the most dark side of anime fandom, otherwise known as weeaboo. Weeaboos are non-Japanese people that are so heavily like beyond redemption level fandom of anime. Well, the Japanese everything. They're learning the language through games like this, which I'm playing it on an English dubbed with English subtext. anime series in its original anime dubbed format, or Japanese dubbed format, sorry. And buying everything related to Japan. In other words, they're buying a Rosetta Stone to continue their learning of the Japanese language. They're buying a full body pillow with anime girls on it, which thankfully I'm not that super obsessed. They're if you ever encounter a weeaboo, please have a baseball bat in hand and smack him silly. That's just my personal opinion. Please don't take what I say seriously. Or at least, physical harm. So. Other than that, if you can become a fan of anime, or if you want to, I should say, there are two ways to do about it. There's an easy way in which there's anime series that you can actually get into it because it's light enough to like I said, either get in, has a higher probability. The best method, like I said again, and is the easy way. Again, unless you know somebody who's into anime, they can tell you some of the easy ways to get in. Mainly shows and or manga books that can guide you in without completely turning you off completely. I mean, there's a small chance of that to happen. There's hardcore method of getting in. Higher chance of completely turning people away, with the small chance of enjoying anime completely. Wouldn't really recommend going hardcore. That's just my opinion. Yeah. Hitter. I'm just scrolling fast. Feel free to pause it to read. It's basically this game's version of social media. There's no I'm not gonna do any encyclopedia. Anyways. There's anime conventions. People dress up in anime costumes or cosplay, usually their favorite character. It used to be people dress up for the fun of it. Now, if you dress up and the costume is not accurate to the character you're portraying, you're gonna get ridiculed. It used to be if you cosplay and you go to these conventions, you're supposed to have fun. Nowadays, if you're cosplaying, go to these conventions, you're gonna get judged no matter what, so... ridiculed. It's the same way with being an anime fan. People will argue saying, you know, that's not real canon, or that series, the series sucks because it's not canon to the manga version. It's like, really? Who cares if it's not canon to the series? It's like, I know it's not, but I watch it because it's fun. And I can come up with trying to find an unedited version of that where it's gonna be, unless you emulate it on, say, like a computer and take off the filter, which probably not gonna see much. But anyways, back to what I was saying earlier. People will argue, will say, canon, yeah, you're wrong about this, it's not what it says on Wiki. I'm gonna say this right now. Fuck Wiki, alright? The information at that website changes so much, but the only thing true is the title and who created it. Like, that series. Okay. I never go to Wiki. it it if you really want to know about something, talk to somebody who's read the original like, alright. Like, everything I know about Dragon Ball Z is primarily because I've bought the official magazines of, like, way back in the 90s. Don't mind that sound. So anyways, this particular game has the ability to customize your, well, as far as I know, just this character. Never even really tried to see if there was a female character. Don't mind me, I was just saving. Okay. Eventually I will go back to the Dragon Quest Heroes. Still trying to level and take out that one guy that keeps kicking my ass. So, until then, tomorrow's broadcast, I haven't decided yet. Even though tomorrow is Thanksgiving, I doubt anybody will watch. But I will anyways. So until then, this is Rugai-san, signing off.